Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and to celebrate the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars, we are getting a ton of brand new Star Wars sets coming out on March 1st. Now, throughout this entire year, LEGO is going to be celebrating 25 years of the incredibly popular theme, but we're starting off with some really cool sets on the 1st of March because not only are they doing midi-scale versions of some of the most classic sets like the Tantive IV, but they're also giving us a ton of specialized LEGO minifigures that only appear in certain sets that don't really have anything to do with the subject matter of these sets themselves, but basically act as exclusive anniversary celebration minifigures just to add a little bit of extra collectivity to the sets themselves. And so, let's go ahead and take a look at the brand new March 1st LEGO Star Wars launch wave, and definitely stay tuned because I'm really excited for some of the other rumors that we've been getting about some of the other minifigures included in the summer sets and even the August sets. The rumors are out there. I'm so hyped, but let's take a look at this first wave. Following the success of the Midi-scale Nebulon frigate, as well as some of the other Midi-scale sets like the Super Star Destroyer, LEGO has decided to go all in on the Midi-scale sets for the March wave, with a ton of them coming out and only 2 extra standard sets with minifigures included. We're going to start off with the Midi-scale Millennium Falcon, which is actually the second time that LEGO has done something like this, although this is so much more refined, and I'm honestly kind of blown away by the level of detail they managed to pack into a model this small. As you can see in the photos, it fits comfortably in someone's hand, but the detail packed in is truly phenomenal, and it makes for a wonderful display piece. This will retail for $85 US, 85 euros, or 75 British pounds, with 921 pieces, making it fair value on the price per part ratio, but it does feel a little bit high given how big and small it is in hand. I guess I'll have to actually be holding it and putting it together to really understand if it's truly worth it, but to me, it feels a tad overpriced, maybe because a lot of the pieces in it are very small and made for details, but it is undeniably a beautiful set. I love how they're maintaining continuity with the midi-scale stands compared to the Comic-Con exclusive frigate as well as the Super Star Destroyer, which came out last year, and it's really cool to get these as actual sets. I only wish they also included at least one minifigure that tied into the set. Even just like a Han Solo would have been totally great here, but I understand if they wanted to keep it in consistency with the rest of the sets which didn't have minifigures included and really just focused on the ship itself. The next set is the Tantive IV. This retails for $80 US, 80 euros, or 70 British pounds, with 654 pieces. It's set number 75376, and this is pretty good, although I definitely feel that 80 is very high for this, whereas for the Millennium Falcon, 85 could kind of be excused because of the part count, and, well, it's a Millennium Falcon, it's actually pretty decently sized. I'm gonna be completely honest, $80 for this does feel a little high. It is a really well done model. I love the way the engines are done. They're using some fantastic stunts in the side techniques, and I really appreciate the amount of detail they managed to pack in a set like this. But it really feels like this should be closer to $60 or $70, certainly not $80, but it is what it is. I'm not super surprised by the price here, and the good thing is that later on this list there are actually sets that have pretty phenomenal prices, which we're going to be getting to pretty soon, and those may or may not have been leaked a little bit earlier, so you probably know what's coming. The next one, though, is probably the one I am most excited about because this is the Invisible Hand. It retails for $50 US, 53 euros, and 47 British pounds, with 557 pieces. This actually does feel like pretty fair value, and for me, this is super exciting because I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars. I have the opinion that the Star Wars TV shows, at least a lot of them, are better than a lot of the movies. Maybe that's a hot take, but I grew up on the Clone Wars, so I have been wanting a separatist kind of dreadnought or flagship style set for a long time. I still can't believe they've never given us the droid control ship. I guess we've gotten an advent calendar for them, but this is a step in the right direction because aside from the Malevolence, which we just got all the way back when the Clone Wars was first airing in 2011, we haven't really gotten a separatist flagship style set until now. We are finally getting the Invisible Hand, which was featured prominently in Revenge of the Sith. Now this looks so good. I love the amount of detailing factored into the model itself. It's going to look really cool hanging from my ceiling. This is easily my most anticipated midi-scale ship because we've already gotten a midi-scale Millennium Falcon, so while it is cool, I feel like I've already built something along that scale, and the Tantive IV is just alright. I think it's nothing super crazy and it does feel a bit overpriced, but this feels very well priced, and it is a set that I've been wanting to get for a long time. I hope that one day LEGO will, if this sells well, maybe do a full-scale playset style one where you could open it up, have a playable interior, and include minifigures like General Grievous and Palpatine, but this for now is pretty good, and I'm very happy we're getting it. But now we can get on to the more interesting stuff. Now, the next two sets we're about to take a look at did unfortunately leak. I don't even know if it was a leak because Amazon themselves posted it early, so that's kind of in a gray area. I know I was allowed to cover it if I wanted to, but I just wanted to play it safe and wait until the official reveal. But these two sets do include some of these special 25th anniversary celebration minifigures, something they're going to be doing a ton on May 4th as well as in the August wave, but we're just kind of getting a little taste of what's to come for the rest of this year with these particular sets. The first one is set number 75379 R2D2 building set. This retails for $100 US, 100 euros or 90 British pounds, and comes with only one minifigure, a Darth Malak minifigure from the Legends Old Republic video games, which is really crazy. That is a deep cut to get as a minifigure, but it totally makes sense as an anniversary special because we're probably never going to see that in a standard LEGO set for a while, if ever again, so it's really cool that LEGO finally made him to accompany Darth Revan, who we got years ago. As far as R2-D2 himself goes, I think it's a pretty good build. We did just get a buildable R2-D2 for around $200, just I believe like last year or a couple of years ago, but this one is scaled down and it is a more reasonable size to play around with. It's kind of a similar scale to the BB-8 set or the Porg set in the same size of build, so it definitely makes sense as to why they would do something like this, especially for the 25th anniversary, and it does capture a lot of the intricate details of R2-D2 himself, with being a smaller build than these standard UCS style ones. So I definitely appreciate it. This is going to look great next to my buildable R2-D2 collection from official LEGO sets, which is surprisingly gaining in size. There's the Technic one, there's like a remote controlled droid one from the Mindstorms line, there's a Boost one, there are two UCS ones, and now this one plus like a few polybags. It's pretty crazy, but I'm excited to add this to my collection, and it looks pretty good, and I feel like the scale will be really nice as well. But moving onwards, we can take a look at my personal most anticipated set for March 1st, and that is boarding the Tantive IV, which retails for a wonderful $55 US, 55 euros, and 50 British pounds, with 502 pieces and a ton of minifigures. This includes not only Darth Vader with arm printing, two Stormtroopers, Captain Antilles, who we haven't seen for a while since the 2019 Tantive IV, and two Rebel Fleet Troopers, but it also includes a minifigure I've been wanting to get for years, ever since Fives became my favorite clone trooper, as he's the favorite of many people from watching the show, ARC Trooper Fives as an official LEGO minifigure. Now, I do have my thoughts on the way they executed the minifigure, and we'll get to that in a second, but I do want to focus on the set itself because obviously Fives is just kind of an add-on, right? Like, this set is meant to be a Tantive IV original trilogy set, and I feel like it really accomplishes that goal. Clearly, you can see there are Technic pins on one side of it, so if you wanted to buy multiple copies of it, which, oh man, I'm very tempted to do that, you can actually extend the hallway, which is really cool, and the minifigure selection is phenomenal. Getting all of these unique figures as well as army builders in one set is great, and it reminds me of the Luke versus the Death Troopers hallway scene, but even better because you can do more stuff with it, and it's fully modular. It's a great set. I love the way it's done. The box art is a little weird, how they basically just put the hallway in a like screenshot of the hallway from the movie. Someone pointed it out on Twitter and I didn't really notice it until someone mentioned it, and I was like, huh, that is kind of weird that the box art is just the set sitting diagonally in the hallway. But anyways, that's just a small thing I just found kind of funny. The set itself is great. I think it's really cool that we're finally getting this as an actual full-on LEGO set. And then we also get Fives. Now, Fives has been probably one of the most anticipated LEGO Star Wars minifigures maybe ever. I know a lot of people who are fans of the Clone Wars have been dying to get this as a minifigure, myself included, and it's alright. I think it definitely suffers from some of the more modern sensibilities of Clone Troopers styling that they've been trying to do for more recent iterations of the Troopers, which I definitely don't mind that much. The biggest downside for me for this figure is the helmet printing, because if you look at a picture of Fives from the TV show, to be honest, the helmet printing, it's just not right. They've kind of given him funny looking eyebrows where there should just be an arc on the top of his head, and to be honest, I know, like, complaining about LEGO Clone Troopers is pretty overdone at this point, and I generally am pretty happy with the prints. Like, I'm usually pretty happy more than the average consumer, but I'm gonna be honest, the helmet print is just not really doing it for me. I really wish that they brought back the old 2012 mold for the ARC Trooper helmet, or alternatively just made a new mold for it, because I feel like it really would have necessitated that. But everything else about the figure is so good. We get cloth pauldrons, we get printing on the arms. It's a good figure overall. I'm not going to talk about no comma because I've accepted the fate for that, right? It makes sense. They don't want to put commas in sets anymore because kids have trouble putting them together. But the helmet, man, I don't know. Something's just not right about it with the printing, and I really wish it was better. But overall, it's still very cool to finally get him as an official minifigure. I'm happy we're even getting him in the first place, so it's very cool to have it included in the set. I just hope that one day LEGO might, it's a very small possibility, but might revisit this minifigure, or at least revisit future ARC Troopers given the feedback on this minifigure to make them a little more accurate. That's all for this, and I'm very curious to hear what your favorite new LEGO Star Wars sets are. As a few final points to celebrate 25 years of the theme, LEGO is really going all out with the press releases and all of the different exciting things for the celebration itself. I find it really cool how they actually highlighted some LEGO YouTubers and social media influencers as part of the press release itself, who are huge fans of LEGO Star Wars, like Solid Brick Studios. David, who I don't actually know that well, but I'm very grateful to for letting me take his slot for the Ninjago interviews at LEGO Fan Media Days, got a feature, so that's so cool to actually have someone I know actually be featured in this press release itself. So congratulations for that. And overall, it's really cool to see a ton of focus on the fans themselves for a set like this. And they also announced that, of course, as I think most of us know, we'll also be getting an updated edition of the LEGO Star Wars Visual Dictionary with an exclusive minifigure, which you can pre-order right now alongside all of these sets themselves. This is a really cool celebration. LEGO is doing a lot of stuff for this, and I know they're even doing a video contest as well for the 25-second film festival on March 1st, and it's really interesting just how much effort they're putting into the celebration. I'm happy they're doing it because it's a big milestone for LEGO Star Wars, and I hope you enjoy taking a look at the sets. Alright, and with that, we have summed up our look at the brand new LEGO Star Wars 25th Anniversary Celebration sets. Let me know down in the comments below which one is your favorite and which minifigures are you most excited for. I know I personally was really hyped to get Fives as a minifigure finally, although I'm gonna be honest, that helmet printing leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's still really cool to actually get him as a minifigure, and then I'm seemingly gonna have to completely reconfigure my entire Clone Trooper display just to factor him in, but I'm so excited to do that because that has been one of my most anticipated LEGO Star Wars minifigures ever. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Definitely stay tuned for more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.